stream boom, and then start that too, I guess.
But I was having fun with it. I liked it. I liked the presentation. It just kind of sucks that it's VX Ace because it feels a little outdated in that way. But it's commercial though, as far as like
Man,
it's fun.
to be honest, VS Ace games is looking better than MVMV. Like the play style and
It's well, it's also because of like the graphics from that time.
I
Like
I think that's what it is.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
think that's what it is. People is so nostalgic to it, and they're like, man,
Well, there's some merit to that. The idea that when you have more limitations in a way, it creates more creativity or something. It's weird.
Yeah. All right, we live, guys. Uh,
are we live? Okay, okay.
yeah.
So,
Welcome everyone to the another episode of the Rarely Typical Players podcast. I am hosting today. As you know, I'm Marlon Unjaded, and my co-hosts are Cychronic on your left and D7 on your right.
this is D7. What's going on, guys and girls? Let me get
Cool.
some light in here.
I am
Sorry, guys.
host. Yeah, okay. And how y'all doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Today's game is called The Seventh Warrior. I found it on itch.io and wanted to share it with the gang. Yeah, you can pick it up for free on itch.io. Right now, I think it's getting close to a 1.0, but the demo version is almost 1.0, and the playtime is about 4 to 6 hours. So let's get into what's this game about. This game, reading off the itch.io page, The Seventh Warrior is a retro-themed SNES-style RPG that tells the story of quote-unquote Dark, a guy, the demonic crown prince of hell, who nearly conquered the world 1,000 years ago, but was able to be stopped and sealed away in the end. Now, 1,000 years later, the demon prince returns after the seal is broken by fools who believe they could control him. How wrong they were. Hellbent on revenge, Dark is once again on a mission to take over the world, but things are very different nowadays. Back then, he had an army of thousands of demons, orcs, and undead under his command. This time, he must do things alone. Soon, Dark realizes that the world he brought death and destruction to has drastically changed. The big empires he fought against are gone. New lands were discovered, and new wars are threatening the world. And so it seems our demon lord is only one of many threats that could plunge the world into chaos. Many threats, okay. If you're tired of mimicking the shiny, sparkling hero and would rather rule the world rather than save it, if you want a humorous, challenging, story-driven game experience in 90s retro RPG style, then this game is for you. The world is yours. Will you take it back? Cool. So, yeah, I guess let's just jump right on in. We start the game with a nice semi-animated like cutscene. What you guys think about? Guys think about that?
I mean, I thought it was cool. The only thing that was a little bit jank to me was like it's not the developer's fault, but like in RPG Maker, like VX Ace, whatever like video codec you have to use or whatever, it always makes the video look like it's lower res or
Like,
something.
yeah.
But as far as the concept of doing it in the game, I thought it was cool. I don't know how this video was made. It looks like it's got a few different elements in it. I'd be curious to know how it was made.
Yeah. So in my gameplay video, like walkthrough, I'm like my playthrough, I am reciting the story as it's being displayed on the screen. I think doing that actually helped me to keep up with it. I love the art, and it looked a little like vague. I think the artistry was remained vague on purpose to not reveal too much to you. You know, everybody, all the members are like shadow creatures, and dark. Apparently, dark is that thing in the background. I'm assuming, right? That huge thing, demon and stuff. But the way they're telling the story is like, here's a number of events that occurred in the past. So they're really trying to let you know what happened before, so that you can start from the point that they start you in the game. So I think it was really well done, but I do have some gripes, and that I guess I'll get into them after I see what D7 thinks. What you thought about that cutscene?
I think the cutscene was awesome because the way they went into it. You know, most games when you hit the start button, you automatically get the cutscene and stuff. But this one is basically a recollection being told from one soldier to another, to like a newbie who doesn't know anything about dark and why they're guarding the tomb, or the resting place where he's sealed at, and how they just went into it. And I wasn't expecting the visualizations, the movie cutscene and whatnot, because in RPG Maker you're just used to like words on the screen, and maybe NPCs moving around, but a video, with animation and cool music. I mean, I wasn't expecting that, but it did feel a little jittery at times. Maybe it could be based on your computer or whatnot, because I was constantly getting, I don't know, I don't know if I got my computer all the way up, but I was like streaming at like 50 some frames or something. I don't know if that's like, if there's a cap on it, whatnot, but it did feel like it was like you could feel the loop. Like when it re-loop, like you could really feel it. It wasn't like a smooth type loop on my end. Maybe your end was different, but I think it was really, it was well put together. They did it just right without revealing what the main character looked like, because you see a big demon with horns and fiery red. You have an idea how powerful this being is, versus what we're introduced with, so yeah, you could not just vividly see it happen, but you could, you have a visual representation how powerful the MC actually is.
Mm-hmm. Or at least was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's also not strictly fact based either. So like the part of it is like the story of Dark is like bigger than Dark himself. You know what I'm saying?
You right. The way the soldier was telling it. He telling it in his own words, and
right. It's like how a story can become like more elaborate and grand over time versus what reality. Yeah,
that's a good point.
That is true. That's true. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. So and yeah, like you said, yeah, I echo those sentiments. Right, I loved it. I thought that it was a great intro, really professionally done. But it was a bit much. It was like a lengthy video.
It was pretty long, actually.
Yeah, it was like.
Which is really, guys.
So no. I mean, I feel like every good thing should be matched with some criticism, right? That's my only thing. I just think like, cause I'm not gonna glaze no game. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Any game, it could be. I'm playing Warhammer right now. I'm not gonna glaze it. I'm gonna like tell you how it is. If it's good, I'm gonna like it. But if it's bad things,
you telling me you rather read black words on the screen for 5 minutes?
It's just so you can see. Well, I was reading it. And I was actually reading it after I read it myself, like, because I played it in order to suggest it. Like, I played it for about 20, 30 minutes, and then I suggested it. Then I did it. I went back and started it all over. When I first read it for the first 20 minutes, like the first, hands on, I was kind of confused because it was a lot. It was like first, there was, I think, Antica, like a first civilization war, right, between them two. One was technologically advanced or something, and then they was chilled and they got along, and then it was like good. But then I think that's when Dark came in or something. I don't know, but anyway, I don't remember specifically, but I think like they were really trying to get geography down, get the nations down, the type of people down, the whole world and everything. Like, not saying like it didn't have to happen. It's just like the way it happened was like it was dumping on me, where I guess, I don't know, that's just, I gotta be the one to be like, look, let me get to this game because I want to play it. Don't try, don't monologue me for too long. I'm gonna be honest, but it was amazing. It was like good. Like, and then when they got to the part where it was like, all right, the battle with Dark was like, all right, first it was 7 heroes, but then only 6 of them was still like able to fight. 5 of them died. It sounded like a math problem, right? And then it was like the one dude, he had to go make a pact to then come back and trick Dark. Something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they explained that whole thing.
The Sith warrior was the one able to vanquish.
Exactly. Yep, he was the one, but because they had to do the ruse where they didn't vanquish them, they sealed him away.
Yeah.
But and that's kind of, I feel like to the developer's credit, they probably felt like they really had to add that math problem in on purpose because the game is called what? The Seventh Warrior. Right.
And I'm like, and what got me was when they showed the visualization, I counted. I was like, hold on, why there's 6? Where's the 7th one at? You know,
and yo, speculating. Did y'all already kind of believe that right from the jump? Did y'all already kind of get that just right from the jump about who the 7th Warrior is?
I think I do now. I have an idea now, but I'm not certain.
Who you think it is?
Because there was a scene in the game, without giving out any spoilers, there was a scene in the game where there was a confrontation, between Dark and someone else, where you kind of get an idea of who the 7th Warrior could actually be. Okay,
well then, let's not talk about who it is then.
Yeah.
Cool, but then that's a good reason to play then.
But that's towards the end. That's like towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
Demo. I mean, it's a demo right now.
Yeah.
The beginning was kind of strange. Like, even I had to watch it again, to be honest, to like really grasp it, so I could really understand what's going on, because I agree with Marlon when it's a lot of lore dump in the beginning, with the testing. Once you start mentioning like nations and stuff like that, you kind of get sidetracked a bit because you're trying to figure out this nation. When you're talking about 2 nations, that's fine. Now you can focus on 2 different groups. Now you got the elves involved now. Then you got a worshiping group that's involved. Then you got another group is involved. Then you got the underworlds involved. Now it's like you're trying to piece things together. During the main intro, like, okay, who are these other people, and are they actually important for me to remember who they are? So I definitely can understand, if somebody don't get it the first time and they have to rewatch it.
Because if you think in terms of like Legend of Zelda, it's like you got 3 things to worry about: you, Zelda, and Ganondorf, pretty much. But not saying it's not good. I think it's great. So And right after the cutscene, uh, let's pull this into our first criteria of the game, right? The story, right? So, how did y'all, how did the story kind of appeal to y'all overall?
I liked the story of what I played so far. I didn't really expect to. Like, from looking at the game, I didn't think I would necessarily enjoy it. But then, as soon as it starts, I pretty much had a good time. I thought the main character is really good. Is a really good like anti-hero. And he's basically, you're just trying to like get off the island. He's just trying to like leave, but then kind of just ends up one thing after another, where he ends up helping people and stuff like that. But he doesn't even want to. But it's just kind of funny, like the way that the story played out, and I don't know, I liked it.
Yeah. Apparently, they show numerous parts where his powers aren't what they used to be.
Right.
So he has to find other means to enact his plan of world domination, which is like, okay, well, I gotta help this little girl now, even though he don't want to. But
yeah, his main goal is right now is basically for self.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, a developer should want to create a main character where it attracts the player. Now, in this game, I feel like they did just that, because with the beginning, you see this cool opening cutscene, and now when the three guys, the cult,
when they break the seal,
when they break the seal, man, you don't even know this guy is the main character.
Exactly.
You don't even know it. He resurrects. He did telekinesis on one of them. Boom! Right against the spikes, and blood come out, and he take one, and the other guy go down the hole. Then he tells the other one the message and tell him to run. He's scared for his life. The next thing you know, he come to view, and you feel like, okay, I'm about to control. I mean, this is the guy,
mm-hmm.
And it's gonna go to a different scene where you're a kid on the farm and gotta go pick up some mushrooms for your mom because she's cooking chicken marsala for the evening. No, you control the freaking main character, who is Dark himself, the Demon Lord.
Yeah.
You're the freaking Demon Lord, and now you're playing the game not from a hero, perspective. You're the anti-hero. You're the antagonist. Now, I'm like, okay, so what is this game going to be about? Am I going to have to destroy everybody? Am I going to have to do bad things? So right now, as the player, I'm like, dang, I can't really name a lot of games that I played where you actually control the bad guy. I'm pretty sure there are some, but RPG Maker, you don't find a lot of them that take that twist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think that was real interesting, to have a person, have the player view what's going on, especially the story, especially what we just watched. We thought we was going to be maybe the seventh warrior.
Yeah.
Or descendant of the seventh warrior.
Yeah. So I think the story is pretty thick, as you've seen from the first cutscene. It's got lore, especially in the world building aspect, where you're literally in the sealing forest where Dark, the demon lord, was sealed away. and then that scene where the cult, right, is trying to release Dark from their tomb. They go and release Dark. It's like, I even think that they have a part in the cutscene where they talk about that cult group. That cult group was created, not a very special cult group, but I think they're the initial people who like worship Dark or something like that. I gotta watch that cutscene again. But if you notice, they made the little gadget that popped out like a little Jack in the Box to taunt the soldier, and then they killed the soldiers and they moved in. It's just, I just feel like, I'm sure, because of how thick this story is, I'm sure that you'll be able to meet that cult somewhere. They did say that their numbers were only 3.
Let me stop you there, because there was only
3 members.
Yeah, there was only 3 members.
Yeah.
They're nobodies. They're basically nobodies. You know, they just, the main guy thought he could manipulate the demon lord, you know, kind of like a genie. You know, I freed you.
Yeah.
This is what I want, and I want to rule the world, and not knowing that how there's 2 rulers. I'm the demon lord, and you want to rule the world.
Yeah.
So you're standing in my way. So I'm gonna eliminate you right off the bat, because I'm already evil. You know, I've been sealed for 1,000 years, and you saying that you want to take over? Nah. So this group was basically a nobody.
Yeah.
Organization. It was only 3 members. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
They didn't even really know what to freaking do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did seem super organized at first,
Yeah.
but then they knew the
organized.
whole. They knew the ancient words to speak in order to unseal the ruins.
And you realize something about the ancient word?
Yeah, it was backwards text.
Yeah,
I saw that.
dope.
That was cool.
That was dope. That was freaking fire.
Yeah.
That was freaking fire. See, most people in RPG Maker World, they try to create their own language where you don't understand.
Yeah.
But you know, this could easily be missed, but if you really pay attention, you be like, hold up.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah,
So
this is what
where
they're really saying, that's freaking fire.
So the 3
You know what I'm
ragtag
saying?
group, they had to learn that message from somewhere. That's what I'm saying. Like, whoever they initially gained their information from, I'm thinking they're probably like an offshoot. Like, he wanted to take
But
3 guys and go.
Maybe there's texts, lores, legends,
Yeah.
because you know, the elves, the elven people was the ones that sealed them. But
Mhm.
the elves, it's in the cutscene as well. The elves were displeased because in the beginning with the 2 nations, they had a great war. But the 2 nations, the magical nation and the technical, you know, the technology nation, they came together. You know, so they lived in harmony. But when the Great War was over, other nations came up as well. Now, people still wanted territory. There was still greed. So another war happened after the demon lord was in prison. So the elves was like, you know what? Screw it. We're gone. And it's said that they was never seen again. They never heard from them ever again. So you got all this elven technology, maybe these books, maybe there was something to resurrect him. You know, maybe there was scrolls and texts how to break the spell, if you know whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know that, but you could just assume maybe what if based on the story. And given the fact that they're on an island, matter of fact, they're on an island, and it's a lot of old civilization, and even the girl said that you run into, even she said she want to be like an archaeologist, archaeologist, and excavate like old ruins and stuff like that. So that's probably what they was doing. They probably stumbled across a text.
Mm.
Yeah, That makes sense, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'd be You know, you might be right with that. So I had pretty good. If anybody's watched that anime, Bastard on Netflix, had strong Bastard vibes. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, so I think the story is super solid. And then going into the main town, I think the first town, Edo, you kind of like I was blown away by the mapping and stuff. And I'm jumping over to the mapping because they I feel like there's a lot of world building in the mapping. How they they have people's houses, and the people like the houses are worn down. Apparently like there's some banditry going on, and I think like they're not in the best state. So they have to go and I think request help, and that puts you in your first like crossroads with the first companion that you go on your adventure with. So yeah, I think story is super intriguing. What I'm trying to get from the story now is so I got to a point in the story where I can impact it positively or negatively. That's one of the elements of the story. I'm intrigued. I would like for, because every game, whether you playing as the protagonist or the antagonist, like you gotta have the other opposite end, and that's what I'm looking for. The other opposite end, whether it's going to be maybe the one. There's a warrior looking out to defeat you. They find out you're out, or it's another overarching evil that you got to take care of. That's the only element I feel like I haven't witnessed yet. Have you guys witnessed that part yet? Like whether you're an anti-hero or hero, have you ever met that opposition, that huge opposition yet?
No, not yet. Not quite.
Sort
yet.
of. I sort of ran into one.
Okay. I did see a cutscene.
You sort of run into that.
Mm-hmm.
Without spoiling it, you sort of run into that. That's why I said, you can have an idea, who's definitely maybe that seventh warrior, or maybe a descendant of the seventh warrior, because there was stuff said. There was stuff said. Think about Dragon Ball. What happens when, somebody's that's powerful? What's the first thing they say? Oh, I sense that a huge power level.
Oh yeah. So who sensed it? Dark?
Both realize what they are.
Oh, that's dope.
Because you think about it, dark cast when you go to the first town, because your companion knows what dark looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's not afraid by his looks, but when he go to town, he casts an illusion spell on himself.
Mm-hmm.
So people won't recognize his true form.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he has this illusion spell, that way he blends in with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But even with the illusion spell on, this person knew who he is.
Oh yeah. Who? Okay, that early in the game, inside of Edo or somewhere else?
Yeah, it was Yoko.
Oh man, I mean, it's in the demo. It's
right
in the demo.
It's right there in the very early part of the game. Yeah.
When you go to Edo the first time, when she said go to the inn, she said I'm gonna prepare a place for you. Go to the inn. As soon as you walk into town, he does the little magic thing on himself.
Yeah.
So nobody is scared of him because he's blue. He got wings. Even though he doesn't change form on screen,
right?
He still looks the same. But when people, we don't see that as the player. We just know what he did, so people won't freak out.
Right.
But there was one individual who recognized, who knows who he really is.
Okay, I know. I went into the end.
Because the camouflage doesn't work on everyone. That's what he said too.
He did say that.
He sensed the aura. Put it like that. He sensed his true self. He feels the power behind this individual. Cause in his mind, he was told that he's just a stranger that just helping out and stuff like that. But the other person ain't believing not one lick of it and know who he really is and confronted him about it.
What? In Edo?
Yeah. Not in that beginning, but
okay.
Towards the rising climax.
Yeah.
This is where there's several rising climax throughout the game, throughout the demo, and I think the developer did a excellent job putting you on the edge of the seat.
What?
Yeah, like I mean, some things you weren't expecting happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they did a really great job, explaining it, especially their native German speakers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the translation part, especially like the spell that the 3 individual cast, I'm pretty sure the German translation may be different. I'm not sure you can write backwards in German. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can. I don't know, because they got some funny looking words.
Mm-hmm.
But for what it is, I think they did a really great job. Like setting up certain events to like for a surprise.
That's awesome.
And everything is invented really well, where it actually tells the story a bit more deeper, like with the body movements and the motion of the arms and the legs and the flap of the wings. They actually did it right, where it just tells the story instead of just having 2 NPCs just staring at each other and a whole bunch of dialogue. This is actually like a movie and a book at the same time.
For sure.
Yeah,
So
I think it was very well done.
Yeah.
But the only thing that's kind of, I feel like, all right, this is more on the main character and how the main character is written. He kind of reminds me of the 90s cartoon characters like Captain N a bit. Y'all remember Captain N and the Game Master and stuff like that?
Is that Nintendo?
Yeah. He's kind of like a rock star type in a way, but evil.
Yeah.
Can't really take serious because he makes jokes here and there.
Yeah.
I think the developer in a way wanted to like not make him so blatantly so evil, like he just got to destroy.
Yeah.
This might be going towards the mechanics in a way, but it's like he's a comedian in the beginning. When he kills those guys, he made like a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this guy is cruel. Kind of reminds you of Negan from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Negan, he could be your best friend one point, then turn around and just straight peel your face off. This is what this main character feels like to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he'll do anything necessary to get off this freaking island, which is his goal, is to get off the island at the moment.
Right.
So it definitely kind of reminds me of him though. But the way they got it written, man, it's not, you can't hate him and you cannot like him at the same time.
Right.
Like you have no choice. And the long hair, the big sword, it goes in history. You know, people like those type of characters.
Well, yeah, I thought it was a cool character from the beginning as well. When I was like browsing hundreds of games to see, and that did catch my eye. So yeah, I think it was a good selection of a character. I personally could have been a little more critical, but like I think like I would not critical, but like judgy, because I got my own specific type that I like. But yeah, I think it was a good overall pick. So, but story wise, did you have any other thing you wanted to mention about it, Cychronic?
No, just that I enjoyed it more than I expected, and I don't know if this demo. So does this demo end before the? Is this just a demo? It doesn't have. It gets to the point where.
Yeah, it's just a demo.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think they should finish it because it's pretty damn good. And a little different. And
There's more to it. The way it ended, there's definitely more. It's not like okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm gonna jump in the comments for a second. So we got part-time experience really engaged in the chat. I'm guessing he probably played the game, liked it too. He says lots of content, great writing, and so on this game. Character interactions actually feel good. Yeah, solely super agree. Oh yeah, and he confirmed it's a demo.
The part-time did say that in the older revision he did give writing points to the developers. So maybe the writing wasn't the same back then, so they made revisions of the writing that makes more sense. So great job, part-time, for reviewing this and giving but you could tell the translation isn't perfect, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
It's pretty good though.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
It
So
makes sense.
I think they did a great job with conveying the same feeling, joking, comedy across languages. So yeah, because I felt it when that first scene where Dark comes out, and you already said it D7, but like I was like, oh, this is one of those scenes. Okay, this is the guy I'm controlling, and like I'm digging this. This is something that would engage a player, even though it's like a whole cutscene. It would get them geared up to be like, all right, that's who I am, right? And that's what role playing is about.
I had the controller down, man. I wasn't expecting to control this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
So, and then we do get to a point where how do you want to do this without spoiling it? I'm guessing like there's you meet a companion. You travel, and then you're tasked with eliminating some bandits. I mean, because every game's got some bandits or whatever, in order to wager a favor. And then how I hear from that video that you put out, D7, that the bandit interaction was top tier. And I'm looping that into the story because I feel like there was some build up when I seen the cavalry come in and everything. I seen like the beginning of that scene that was like really stand out. I don't want to use the word breathtaking, but for an RPG Maker 2D game, I mean, Dragon Quest doesn't even do things to that level on the map screen,
And that cutscene was cool. Yeah.
and that could be fall into the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
Because you see a lot of that throughout the game, like the little small stuff.
Yeah.
That you either feel like there's a artist on the team that does everything, because what this game is doing is setting the bar for some games to follow. Especially story-driven games. It's setting the bar, because I've been playing RPG Maker games since 2020. You know what I mean? And I mean, of course, you have some that has like the little cut scenes, action battle scenes. Human does it in battle, but I never seen it out of battle.
Mm-hmm. But let me
And,
let me let me express what I got from a story standpoint. Then we can rate story. Then we can go so that we can get into gameplay and presentation. Because I feel like that's a big stuff. That's a big thing. We want to talk about that. So the scene that you portrayed, D7, I guess gives the viewers a look into how not only detailed the game is and the action sequences and stuff like that, the special effects, but it's like a little bit of foreshadowing or kind of giving since it is a demo, giving the player a taste of the type of adventures that you're going to go on as Dark. So it seemed to me that Dark had to do what he had to do as part of the story. However, it seems like in some instances throughout the game, he's going to get his strength challenged. And I think that that's super cool because then it's almost like the game's letting you know that it's about to test your strength and as far as how good you played the game up to this point.
Yeah, and the craziest thing about it, that was the first boss.
Mm-hmm.
So what this happens with every boss fight?
Yeah, I think
where the person is strong and because you think about it, they had two guys carrying that guy's weapon, two bandits carrying the guy's weapon, struggling, and he just picked it up, no problem.
Yeah, that was a great show of strength. Yeah,
and the guy kind of matches his strength.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Dart wasn't best in him, and he wasn't best in Dart. It was equal.
Right.
So you could definitely see how the story fit, and Dart said it himself. He's weakened. He's not at 100%.
Exactly.
So maybe that is Dart's true form, the horns and everything, and maybe that's not his. Maybe he could transform. I don't know.
Yeah,
it kind of gives you. So it kind of gives you an idea.
So my thing is, I'm getting from that whole scene that you're getting a glimpse of the type of adventure you're going to go on. Great challenges of strength, a growth progression, meaning like you're going to reach your full potential at some point, but you have to deal with people challenging your current potential, and your whole like your right to rule is being challenged because that bandit leader is a leader of bandits, right? So he's ruling all the bandits, and you at first, just from looking at that scene, I was like, maybe Dark overpowers this bandit leader, then he takes all the bandits, and all the bandits become his minions or something. Maybe there might be another element in the 1.0 where maybe there's like a troop management thing, like if you ever played like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood or something, you got bandits and you got thieves.
But Dark seemed to have a group that was helping him out.
Exactly, and then the other group rolled up. So I'm like, who knows?
So those other people are actually the people that go along with Dark.
It could be. It could be. You could be right, but I'm thinking maybe he gets all of them.
Well, you got to get to that part.
All right, cool, but for sure,
everything falls in together. Everything. I mean, it goes to your traditional RPG, story. You gotta scratch somebody's back to get your back scratched to get what you want. Yeah. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. Right. Thing. That's basically what it is as of now. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
So yeah, like I'm gonna wrap this segment up just to reiterate, like stories like this where we're just talking about the story, not really critiquing it too much, but really involved, really interested in how it plays out. Like that's a great story. So I think we got a couple of comments.
Yeah, I agree with you, Neo. Neo already know. He's a great story writer as well. So he definitely see Dark don't want no allies. He don't want that.
Okay, so what did Neo say? Because I'm lost with it. Let me see.
He said, okay. Oh, hold on. I didn't see that.
I got it. So the problem I have with this main character's speech is the fact that he's been gone 1,000 years, yet talks the same as, say, the bandits he come across. Okay, then he says, when you see other games do this kind of thing, Lunar, Breath of Fire 4, the godly characters typically have a period where they need to adjust to the modern world. Okay, I feel like the dev missed the mark there as far as an opportunity to help with the character art. Okay. All right, so Part-Time said, when I spoke with the dev, that's something he was thinking about in the future. Okay.
I did get little hints in the game where
The part where he had to adjust to the modern world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got hints of that his power is diminished from what it used to be.
Yeah, but when he looked at the town or something like that. I don't know.
He doesn't recognize, because you got to think about it. He was transported there when he was sealed. He was transported to this island, so the battle happened somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't recognize the land, the people, none of that. But I do see like the lingo, like the dialogue, is if we dig up, let's say George Washington got resurrected today, you know what I'm saying? The way they talk, the English that they're speaking is going to be way different than how we're talking. But Dark is basically speaking the same language and lingo, as somebody that was born of that time than from 1,000 years ago.
So it's not necessarily realistic in that way. But
he's not speaking. He's not speaking Shakespearean, basically.
But then he also says like he doesn't understand the Elvish language, but he's able to speak, whatever.
But it is RPG Maker.
That's what I'm saying. I just feel like, sometimes you gotta kind of pick and choose, right?
You just gotta suspend your disbelief for the purpose
RPG
of
Maker.
being able to tell the story and all.
Yeah, you remind me like Dragon Age does stuff like that, right? Like you gotta speak English. You can't be like, you're a demon.
I know,
and people can't understand.
Come on, bro. Neo, see, that's why I say Neo's a powerful writer, man. This guy is too serious with it.
Yeah, it's a good point. I feel like if that's the type of person you wanna, if that's the type of feeling you want to portray, like a man out of time, straight up, then go there. But this guy is just like, I think is relatable for the sense that like they're trying to get you playing with that character. You gotta be that character. But if it was a side character, that man was like onus, meanus, dolus. You know what I'm saying? You like, he ain't from here type deal.
Dark said, "On God, on my mama, I'ma slice you up." I'm like, what?
So let's rate this story, man, so we can get to the other beautiful parts of this game, man. What y'all think? I
give it out of 10, right?
Yep.
Are you recording it?
Let me pull it up.
Are you gonna record the score?
Let me pull it up, cause y'all was recording it last time, but I'll do it. No problem. I already got mine. I'm about to pull it up right now.
I don't know if my camera is gonna go. Hold on. Is my camera still on?
Yeah.
I got it up. So I got we gave Aurora's. I gave Aurora's story a 6. D7, you gave it a 7.5. I don't even know why I told you that. Just whatever story what's the story you want? How you want to rate this?
Okay, my camera is gone. Darn it. It should be back now.
Yeah, I see.
Annoyed Nova, there will be a time that we will probably have more of a debate depending on the game or
when we talk about AI. I think when we talk about AI, it's gonna be that stream.
What y'all want to debate about? I'm lost.
I think our next topic might be AI, to be honest.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
I think so.
We can pick that
one
up if we want.
Yeah, I'm gonna take me some AI courses though. I gotta get up on Psychronic level with that before I can argue.
What do you rate the story?
All right, so I didn't want to get my rating first, but I will. I feel like the story is a 9.5 out of 10. And I don't usually do 0.5s or point scores or none of that, but I really got to give credit to the fact that the world building was there, and the actual story. I can't critique or say like, because honestly, I am that knight in shining armor type guy. I ain't gonna lie. I am the typical herald protagonist lover. I'm be honest, but I was drawn into the game. I liked it, and then I enjoyed it. So and in any story where you want to figure out what's next, you want to see where this goes, you want to influence the outcome. That also allows you to play your way, because sometimes somebody can spoil a game by saying, "Well, you die at the end" or whatever. Who knows? But this game is like, it's transcending the typical like this RPG Maker game, because I can get off and play this right now, right? Like, and that's really what's getting me as far as the story standpoint. So very, very great story level for me, score for me. What y'all think?
Yeah, I also thought it was really fun to play, and you know, there's some games you play like storyline wise that you're like, okay, I have to get through this next part for the podcast. But then there's games where you just start playing it because you're having fun, and it's interesting. And this was definitely the case for me on this one. I'd probably give it like an 8.9. 8.9 would be my score, but I really liked it. I thought it was really good, and I think it's a good example of what can be done with RPG Maker. If you can tell a good story, you know what you can do with that. 8.9.
All right, what you think, D7? Oh, I feel like I have to mention, I'm so sorry, the 0.5 is gone. The 0.5 from a straight 10 is because I just think...
Oh, you doing a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, it's out of 10. I was doing 9.5. Mine's 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, so what's your score? What's your score? Was yours?
What are you keeping it at 9.5? Right?
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, the beginning, it started off, you know, you understand, boom, 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 these 2 kingdoms. Now there was 5 kingdoms. Now, you know, the elves don't want nothing to do with the human race because they think that the humans are, you know, garbage. They're selfish. They're greed. They want power. Now you got this group coming out of nowhere, wanting to resurrect the dark guy because he wants to rule the world. Now dark is resurrected, you know, but they're guarding dark. So who cares about dark? To be honest, I really don't know. Hold on. I think only in that continent, what's the name of that? Well, whatever. They're just guarding him because I don't know. Are they fearful he's going to come back again or whatnot? Or maybe they should have known that maybe there are groups who is trying to resurrect them, and their job is to protect them. I don't know. I think it would have been more interesting if there was more on the dark society that wants to resurrect, because right now all we know, they just went in there, resurrect them, and that was it. And what's the reason why the guard is always, you know, if the elves don't care, why should the humans care about the legend? So maybe that could have been explained a little bit more, because I feel like after that scenario, you really don't really know the purpose of, you know, the true extent of why are we still guarding this guy. So I'm gonna go with you on this, Marlon. 9.5 out of 10. 9.5.
And yeah, it's plot holes like that. That's what merely made it the 0.5, because I'm like, why is only 2 people guarding dark? Such certain things like that, right? And then that whole math.
Well, but it's been 1,000 years, so it's probably almost like a tradition at this point that isn't taken as seriously as it should be.
I'm thinking that's like a 9/11 type joint, right? Like, I ain't gonna lie, somebody almost destroyed the whole world. You gotta watch that for forever. But like you said, they could have got lazy and jump right and be like, man, it's been 1,000 years. Who knows? Your grandpappy.
Well, yeah, because if you didn't experience the events, society forgets, right? So the lessons that were learned get re-forgotten again.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Cycles of history. Yeah.
All right, bet. But yeah, okay. It just ain't anyway. Now, let's transition on over to man, shoot. You know what? I feel like we turn into a little bit of a machine when we do these reviews, and I ain't gonna lie, I'ma blame my own inability to be like really relaxed, a really nice public speaker. But I'm gonna challenge us to go off on a tangent for a bit, and let me get some of these comments in here, because let me tell you why I'm saying this. Annoyed Nova says, "You guys need to argue more. This is content." Okay, to an extent, I agree. But anyway, I ain't got nothing to beef with y'all about. But I'ma say
he just mad because I be coming on his stream talking about AI and getting him rowdy.
Oh yeah,
that's all that is.
Dang. But are y'all? How about Christmas? Are y'all ready for Christmas? Yeah, celebrate Christmas like that.
Christmas with the RTP podcast.
Yeah, that's why I got this little. I felt like this is like the holiday episode. I got the little green and red stuff for like December.
Christmas on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it is.
So no podcast on Wednesday.
Probably no podcast.
It's podcast on Wednesday. Y'all don't want the podcast on Christmas?
Nah. I told y'all I adopted a dog, so I'm about to have a puppy. I'm gonna have a new baby dog.
What kind of dog is it?
It's a mixed I don't know, but it's got poodle in it because, like I said, I'm hypoallergenic. I mean, I'm allergic to dogs, so it's got to be a hypoallergenic dog. And nice little mid-sized puppy thing. Yeah.
Poodles get big, right? Some poodles grow big.
I hope it get big, but I don't think it's going to get any bigger than it is. I was just at the SPCA today, so nice little puppy. Maybe I'll bring it on stream next time we stream. And jump, but yeah, hope y'all ready for Christmas and junk like that, man. You know, I still got shopping to do. I'm probably I'm actually going to my first Ravens game. Oh yeah,
I still gotta get my wife stuff.
Yeah, that's basically my wife's stuff. I hope she don't hear this podcast for real. She don't watch my podcast, so we should be safe. If she watched the podcast, then she learned the secret.
But I ordered some stuff today for her. Stuff I know she gonna like.
Yeah.
Okay. I ain't gonna say it in case she's watching.
Shoot. That your girl watch your podcast?
Right,
Let me stop. Let's continue. So, I think our next criteria on this game, the Seventh Warrior, is gameplay or presentation.
Gameplay, gameplay mechanics.
All right, so yeah, as you can probably see from the gameplay like trailer we got running, man, it's really pushing the feet to the engine as far as gameplay. I didn't see a lot of like mini games and stuff, but yeah, what you think about the gameplay so far? There's a ton of on map interactions that I really liked. You know, you can jump in certain areas with your little wings instead of going down ladders. Dark just floats down. What else? You can push blocks to solve puzzles.
You can swim.
You can swim?
You can swim in any water, any body of water. You can swim.
You can swim?
Once you learn how to swim.
Once you learn how to swim.
You can swim anywhere. It's kind of like RFL.
Yeah.
You know, in RFL you can swim.
Mm-hmm.
Once you learn how to swim, any body of water you see, you can swim. Except you can't die. So this is making me thinking maybe they're using the same plugins RFL is using, the same scripts. So I don't know, but it kind of reminded me a little bit about that game as well.
Was RFL done in VX Ace?
I don't know.
Yeah, but when VX
so.
Ace 2, Is it the same JavaScript for the plugins, or was it that
What was this
No,
game?
RM
What was
script?
this made in? This was made in XP, wasn't it? Or
it looked like it was VX Ace.
It was VX8, yeah.
this is VSA?
Yeah, and it even said when you first start the game, powered by VX.
Oh yeah, it is because the freaking it don't have the window mode. You gotta hit the keys.
Yeah, and let me tell you how much I like to see that. The Powered by VX Ace, it's like those guys were proud to be in the engine they were in. They weren't trying to hide that there was an RPG Maker game or none of that. You know, they wasn't living under the same stigma of like, oh, it's a knock game or it's an RPG Maker game. They said
This
powered
is far
by.
from a knock game, man.
Yes,
This is far from it.
far from it.
But you know, the RPG Maker community has also kind of changed a little bit over time. I remember because I've been involved with the RPG Maker community since like 2000s, and so I feel like it's kind of changed a little bit over time. I'm not sure whether it's better or worse, but it's different, you know.
Yeah, but like they shamelessly put that there, and I really like that because it's like it makes me feel proud as a developer. Like I'm like, all right, even though I got this busy, hectic life, I gotta use an engine that's helping me help itself a little bit quicker. You know what I'm saying? All that. I can just put RPG Maker. I want to wrap the engine. You know what I'm saying? If I get accepted by the Nintendo developer program with my RPG Maker game, I'm be hyped for just that. You know what I'm saying? So I would want people to.
You can use the RPG Maker tag on Steam.
Yeah.
Too.
With no shame.
See, yeah, and that's the thing. Some people say don't use the RPG Maker because the stigma.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the thing, the stigma. But this developer, even though they're using the RPG Maker, they're doing everything possible that you see in normal games. Now, me personally, what I like about games, I like to explore. I like to, you know, go about and do extra stuff, and this game does that. I'm a real big fan of searching drawers and getting rewards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This game does that.
Yeah.
This, even though it's a pain in the butt, because you know you could be standing over an item, hit the enter button, it doesn't register. You know, you might gotta move over a bit before it does register that you picked up the item. You know, and it doesn't have like the glowing. So anything could be, you could search anything. But one thing about the game, I don't think the game tells you that you could search drawers and barrels for items. I don't think it tells you that.
Right. Let me ask y'all a question.
You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all find any of the 999 secrets in the game?
I found one.
I found one.
You probably found the same one I found. Yeah, I found one.
And when I saw that, I was like 999. I said I'm not gonna find all of it because it's virtually freaking impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I found this dress.
Maybe there's not actually that many though, right?
I think it's that many.
I think it is too.
Because one of the secret items I found was like a healing item.
Yeah.
It was a regular healing item, but it was like hidden behind a wall. It was hidden behind a wall where you can't see the item.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the developer just wants you to hit the enter button every time you move somewhere.
Yeah,
and that's not happening.
No, the one I found was like on the mountain, and it was some kind of like gold ring thing that.
Yeah, I ain't fine. Oh, you got the from the bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a quest. That's a quest too.
No, but I found the ring first, and then I found the guy second.
Oh wow!
So the guy's like, "Can you help me find my ring?" And then
yeah, I didn't do that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the bird with something in his mouth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, how can I get that freaking bird? Then I got the quest but I was so far gone. I was like, man, I'm not traveling back just to get that. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost all the way to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, like it was like I had to go like up to the top cliff where he was and push a tree down the cliff, and it landed on the tree and caused the bird to move over, and then I was able to get it.
Wow. And it's a lot of little stuff.
There's a lot of little attention to detail on these maps and stuff that you have to like some of the puzzles. I'm like, I had to think about it a bit to figure it out, but I was able to figure them out eventually. But eventually, though, like that kind of causes you to look at other maps a little more closely than you normally would, because it rewards exploration.
This game doesn't. Yeah, one thing, this game doesn't hold your hand either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know, most RPG Maker games, when y'all guys create puzzles, y'all kind of help the person out through the first puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with this puzzle, I'm like, okay, how the heck? And this is the one you got to push the rocks to make the crack in the floor. You know what I mean? I'm like,
yeah, I didn't figure that out until I got a controller plugged up, and that was weird. When I plugged the controller in, then I could start pushing the rocks.
And you know what I like too is they let you pull the rocks too.
Yeah, you can pull a rock too.
In a lot of games, they don't let you pull.
Yeah. I implemented that in the game one day, pulling, because it reminds me of the Zelda. I had that brain, right? Like if you go do a rock puzzle, you can't just push that thing, allow the player to push into a corner, and then they can't move it.
Marlon, can you answer Machine's Fable text?
Let's see.
His question?
So he says, I don't understand the stigma behind RPG Maker. Why does it have to be have such a bad rep? Is that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I saw that, and I was going to comment on it. Like, so yeah. Lavexis kind of answered it for me. He said too many bad games. I think that the culture kind of built itself around making games quick, and then people are just using the way, like, because the way the engine is set up, you get a lot of assets straight off the bat, and they're thinking that, okay, well, I could just use these. I think it's that, but also coupled with a lot of people who make RPG Maker games are kind of entry-level developers, and they are honestly amazed at whatever the heck they create, even if it's like not fun for somebody else. That's something that I really feel like, because I felt it myself. I couldn't tell if somebody liked the game I'm playing, but I like the game I'm playing because it actually works. So I think those kind of two sides of the coin kind of mix, and then somebody's like, well, at least I got a game.exe. I could put this joint on Steam. I'ma do it. You know what I mean? Like nobody's like really giving you that critical judging to go, hey man, your game is not fun. You're also using assets that have been used numerous times. You should try to branch out to create something a little more fresh, and then take some time to build your story, right? Like I think that the culture should be crafted. Like we really need to reawaken the culture of RPG Maker gaming, because it's kind of like you playing a game too, right? Like even though you're making a game, is sometimes can be that much more fun, but the criteria to go, I'm gonna put this out to the world, probably should have a couple of hoops you gotta jump through, a couple of barriers you gotta break through. Some of those barriers being quality, boom, interest, boom, okay, freshness, boom, try to break those barriers, and then you put the game out. So a little bit of like sending it through other people to play test your game. We should have like a culture that cultivates that kind of barrier, you know what I mean? So we can say, yes, these games that are put out here do have broken these quality barriers, so, but that's just kind of like where we at right now. So that's kind of why RPG Maker has like a bad rep, because people don't see those barriers. They just like, well, the game builds, put it out, so yeah.
Yeah. And with this game, they proudly put the RPG Maker badge on their game, and a lot of developers are afraid to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because of the stigma.
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually play the game, you know you're getting more than what you could expect. Like there's a lot of neat things behind this game, and especially with the events, with the cutscenes, and like right off the bat, you know, with the opening cutscene, it's just enough to like, okay, this developer actually, when it gets the grain, you know, then yeah, and gave us an actual, you know, scene that you may see on the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's the small stuff. You know, the battle system kind of got the Breath of Fire vibe. You know, the characters are standing, you know, they're standing sideways. You know, it's action sequencing, it's voice acting. You know, then you got couple Fallout mechanic, you know, with the karma system, you know, even being set on like one thing I do like about the game, you know, there's a karma system where you could do on your quest that you accept from these mangy humans who you want to conquer and destroy. You have a choice. Upon completing the request, you can bring the item back or you can sell it for money. That affects your karma. You know, with the chicken, with the rooster, when you catch the rooster, you got the little girl was missing a rooster. You catch the rooster, there's two options. There's the evil option and the good option. The good option, you bring the rooster back. The bad option was, I'm hungry for a snack. So you technically can cook the rooster and eat it. So
if it increased my max
player,
HP, it's getting eaten.
as a player, you have the choice to do good and evil. You know, based on, you know, the mechanics of this, well, the storyline of this main character. Now, what does it actually do? I don't know, because when I play games like this, I'm thinking I behave like I do in real life. I do the good stuff. I ain't do none of the bad stuff yet. But I'm not sure if I pick the bad stuff, maybe he may have a change of heart and do the good thing. I don't know. But it is a karma system. And what does it affect? I'm not really sure, because once it comes up and you get a tutorial screen, it's just basically a picture of explaining it, what it does, and you don't know if it gives you discounts or certain people sell you stuff. NPCs may react differently. I don't know, but that's kind of neat to have, where you can have some control of, you know, the devilness in your character, because he is the Prince of Hell, basically. That's what he's described as, being the prince.
Only the prince? That's crazy.
Yeah, so there's somebody above him, you know, the actual devil.
Yeah. So, you think we touched all of the elements of gameplay at the player's disposal?
And another thing, the beautiful maps. The maps are beautiful, but there's a problem.
Yeah.
I like smaller maps that are cluttered. It's realistic. Like, once you go in that mansion, you be like, holy smoke, all these freaking rooms, right?
Yeah.
If you're not playing with the when you hit the D button, you see the arrows on the map.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not playing with that on, you're going to be lost, because there's hidden interests. There's hidden doorways that you can't see normally.
Yeah.
So you have to play with that arrow. You have to play with that activated, because there's doors on the side. There's doors you can enter from
the top,
from front of the building.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where you can actually get lost. You know, that's why I say the game doesn't really teaches you like as much, because you have the option to play with it, and play with not. But just like most RPG Maker games, in a small room with NPCs, you can get blocked. You can get blocked.
Yeah.
There was times where I was blocked. I had to wait for 5 minutes.
Yeah, for the little
I
girl
had
to
go
walk
to
away.
the other room,
Yeah.
back and forth, so
I
the
also
NPC could get out the way.
I also had situations where I would get, not a lot, but I got some freezes where like you enter the room at the wrong time and the events collide, and then
Go get your
then
uniform.
You can't move.
Come on, let's go put your uniform. Come on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did notice like through the gameplay. I actually have it as my note. There was a couple of weird bugs. Oh my god, one of the biggest bugs ever. The sleep spell did not work. The sleep spell didn't work, y'all. That was killing me.
It worked for me.
All right, well, let me tell you, I didn't get this on my gameplay record, but I'm playing because there's a lighthouse south of that first little island, right?
Yeah.
You go to that lighthouse and there's a bunch of flying freaking fish, right? I conquered 3 flying fish. I thought I was a fantastic fighter. I was on the top of the world.
I'm still here, guys.
All right, cool, no matter. No problem.
Come here.
Then I go to the mountain. I'm like, the mountain's a little bit too tough for me. Let me go back and I wanted to grind on them fish. I go back, fight the fish. For some reason, I go to the lighthouse area and I can't interact with the enemies anymore. I don't know why. When you touch the enemies, it didn't get me into a fight. As soon as I leave the lighthouse, I take 2 steps. I get into a battle with 7 flying fish all at once. So it was only 2 of us. We gotta fight 7 flying fish, and I'm getting demolished by flying fish. They're killing me in like 2 hits. So I big brain, okay, because I'm a strategist. I play RPGs. The girl, she can cast sleep. I'm like, bet that would hold them off. It works on, well, it says it works on some of them, and it says miss on some other ones. I'm like, all right, at least there's a chance I can get something to sleep. But when I'm looking at that turn counter coming, every single enemy is hitting me. What happened to sleep? What did that even mean? Did it even work? Who knows? I
never cast that, so I don't know if it worked or not.
Yeah.
I casted it and it worked, but one thing that I did was I equipped something on her that gave her like a lot of luck, and I don't know if that had any factor in it hitting more often, but it hit pretty often for me.
But how many turns does somebody stay asleep? Do they stay asleep until they're hit?
It was for like 3 turns or something.
Well,
yeah.
those flying fish.
They would be stopped. Yeah, they'd be stopped on the timer, so you wouldn't see them moving on the timer anymore.
Well, that's the tell then, because they did not stop moving.
Okay.
And if you want to try it for yourself, yeah, go out there to that lighthouse, try to fight them flying fish, and see how you fare. Your feet will be fanatical, and you will likely fail. So, yeah, that was just something. I was playing that fight over and over and over. I ended up beating them by chance. I had to use the girl spinning. I know she had like a little pulse thing, and then I used the electrosphere with the guy with Dark, and just by chance we eliminated them fast enough, and I got some experience. I think the grind is a little tough though.
I wanted to address for the spectus. Does bugs matter if you have a good game? Yes. It does matter. It's a factor no matter what.
Exactly.
But if it's a good game, I'll basically be like, oh man, a bug. Okay, I guess I'll reload the game and keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not a good game, I'll go like, oh man, a bug. This is probably my excuse to quit now. So it just depends.
Right. And yeah, bugs happen everywhere. So I think like with the production value being so high, all the effort being put in with all the folks that worked on it, something's bound to get overlooked. I just think
Yeah, but at the same time, it's different when you put a price tag on that.
for sure.
You gotta remember that. You know, people ain't gonna care about that. You know, they people complain about everything. But
Yeah.
what y'all guys think about the balance and the battles? Were they interacting? Were they fun?
I thought that the battles were, I would call it like fine, but simple, pretty simple. They're strategic but simple. Like you've got pretty much the attacks you need, and it's kind of just about using the right attack at the right situation. Like, what, for example, I used the sleep one to decent effect when it would be like too many enemies for me to handle, and then that actually worked pretty well for that. There was other situations where the double slash made more sense.
Come on.
I ran out of like the items that let me like heal that, so I had to buy a few of those. But it was, I just say it was pretty basic actually. But it was, but everything like looked really good. Like they had good action sequences. I really liked the animated, battlers. They looked good.
Yeah.
It was pretty basic combat, but it wasn't bad by any means. But it wasn't like elaborate or fancy or anything.
You know what I like though, mostly the fact that every enemy you kill drops a soul,
Mm-hmm.
and only Dark could absorb the souls to restore his MP and HP.
Yeah, that was cool.
So that was pretty good. So that kind of tells me that, the developer just throwing healing items at you, because there's some items where you can use 3 times before it runs out. That heals a lot of HP and stuff like that. So maybe maybe the game is telling me that it. Cause I did die once. Don't get me wrong. I got caught in the 2 enemies did double attack on me, and one was critical, and that was a wrap. While I was trying to do the ultimate spell, and there's a cooldown, there's a wait.
Yeah.
It's a charge time. So I was kind of stuck. I was the only one, and they got me with the double attack 2 times while I was charging, and I ended up, dying. But other than that, it's simple. I believe anybody can play this game. They could just pick up and give it a crack.
Yeah, I think to its credit, it's simple, it's approachable. So
and it doesn't linger too long. So like the battles feel fast paced and stuff like that.
For sure. I'm replaying Shin Megami Tensei because I got the Vengeance version, and that's one thing that really stuck out to me was like, all right, they not
Baby, get your jacket. So
they not sitting there with mad long victory screens and mad long dialogue throughout the battle and stuff. It's like you fight the enemy, you beat the enemy, good job, keep going. I really like that. Remind me of how you get in and get out of Shin Megami Tensei battles. You just get in, get out real quick. And I think I've seen other games that can get more complex. Like I can't remember the game in particular, but it had like, remember that one game, it was like mad battle animations and they was like fighting, and it was crazy. I think this game like didn't need that. It had its animations, it had exactly as much as it felt like having, as much as it felt like it needed to go make you feel like you're dark, you're kind of powerful, you're mad, emo, kind of cool looking, and that's all it needed, right? I got these spells that I had from 1,000 years ago, and maybe I'm looking to see like maybe he'll learn some more techniques. Like D7, you said that mug can swim. So I'm like, if he could swim, he could learn how to do a triple attack or something. No, he can learn how to do some crazy stuff. I think the counter system was awesome. Both characters can counter, and he can use his.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was dope.
He can use his counter ability like on command, but I haven't seen a good use for it yet. because other stuff is better.
Okay, so that how does the countering work? Because I don't remember.
That joint saved me, man. Like it's
Yeah, it's
automatic.
automatic.
It's kind of like a weapon unleash. If an enemy hits you, he basically does that dark blade spell.
Oh, okay.
And it'll happen. Yeah, it's like a chance happen. Yeah, so I'm guessing you could probably find an item that'll increase your counter chance. And that was one thing I noticed. So we still in gameplay. It's one thing I noticed that was lacking, like the equipment and stuff. I was like, let me go get geared up before I go to the mountain. And it was tough for me to find places to like get good gear.
Want the juice?
So if anything, I think make those signs in Edo a little more prominent, so I can like, oh, that's where I get my items from. I eventually found it, but it didn't have. It was like +1 defense. All right, bet I bought it, but maybe if they had something else somewhere, I don't know. Did you guys find any like better equipment?
Yeah, I sure did.
Oh, okay.
You got to search. You got to just search everywhere.
Before or after the mountain?
Before.
Oh, okay.
There's no telling where it can be. That's the thing.
That's
like, I'm just used to playing RPG games like that. You know, on a whim, I searched, and I ran across it.
Yeah. So overall, I'm like really excited about the gameplay. I feel like it fits like your Dragon Quest plus a little bit of Breath of Fire, a little bit of Final Fantasy VII with the whole dense mapping. I think like the gameplay is very approachable, a little bit tough to understand as far as the mapping, because I think some of the controls was tough for me to do. Like I said, right, like I couldn't push the blocks until I switched the controller. I can't tell you why, and it's just a little bit of stuff got to get smoothed out, but it's providing an engaging experience overall. So how do y'all want to rate the gameplay? Highly recommended. I ain't gonna lie, it's recommended. What y'all think?
I gave it a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Ramona, because we gotta leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.8. It did have some bugs. It did have some little issues here and there, but they're all very easily fixable, I think. And it was simple but and approachable, and I really liked it. And it had a good flow to it. Even like this little side quests had a good little flow to them too. It was like they kind of turned into like a little mini story in some cases. So it's really solid. The other thing too is like the only thing is that this is VX Ace, so it's getting kind of like old vibe with the technology, but the actual execution of it was done incredibly well. And yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.8.
Okay, I got you down. So I am really torn by this game because I want to rate it very highly. However, I do notice that it's missing some elements that I think modern games should have. I am a huge Dragon Quest XI fan, and one of my favorite spells is a spell called Whoosh. Right? Once you get Whoosh, you can fast travel, and I think that is what I was lacking in this game when I really wanted to try to get my bearings as far as preparing for the next challenge, which is the mountain. Other than that, all of the interactable components of the game, you can actually squish bugs if you run over them, and I don't even know if that affects your karma or not, but you could go to the church to save. You could save on the map. I mean, it has everything except for a couple of elements that would make quality of life. So I would the manuals in there, it's like it's really almost at the brim everything you look for as far as gameplay in an RPG. With that said, I'm going to give it An 8. Straight up 8. Highly recommend it. Definitely play it. But like I said, I ran into the sleep bug, and then some of the gameplay was a little tough to get through because I couldn't depend on my abilities. I think that trying to figure out how to prepare, because that's the main core gameplay mechanic in an RPG, was tougher for me. However, I think it's either for me to overcome, but in order for me to overcome, I gotta travel. I need to be able to travel fast because I don't got time to walk around and talk to every NPCs. I don't got all the time. But I do see where the game was going with that, and I think like I noticed if I would have walked around a little bit more, maybe I would have found some more quests, and maybe in those quests I would have found some items that would have gotten me where I need to be as far as strength wise.
You also get EXP from quests too.
Yeah, I did one quest where you had to go get the flower from the sealed forest. That joint only gave me 40 EXP. I was kind of pissed. So fixing that too, you know what I'm saying? And then I did the one where the couple of guys was they was turned to stone, and I fixed them. But yeah, I just don't remember those initial quests being like very like rewarding enough, I guess, for me.
Yeah, because you got like normal items for those quests.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you do get rewarded just by exploring, maybe finding those hidden items.
Yeah, like I did see some, but when you said I could swim, I know 2 places exactly where I would go once I get the swimming ability. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Based on the description of the game, it says swim in any body water.
That's awesome. I can't wait to.
And ever since I've seen every body water I've been to, you was able to swim.
Dang. And I also like. Oh, so now we cross into presentation. Let's jump straight into presentation because we kind of crunching for time. Presentation is out of sight here. I think like really crushing Barry's presentation I didn't even think was even capable in the maker. I think like, and even if it was capable, I think they really pushed the bar to go, this tile can be changed, we're changing it, you know, to create a scene that is amazing. This character set can be changed, we're changing it. I noticed that very early on when Dark's sword came out of the stone, went to his hand, you know, that really gave me an understanding of what level of detail in the presentation that they took this little baby RPG Maker VX Ace engine into. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely twisted the arm of the engine a little bit, for sure. And I think it presents itself very well. I do think that the presentation does get hurt a little bit by the VX Ace engine specifically because it technology-wise it's starting to get kind of out of date. Mm-hmm. And then I noticed like, and I don't know if it's like just me, but I noticed that the game is widescreen, but it looks like it's kind of stretched out. Like, is that the aspect ratio that it's supposed to be at, or did they just take the 4:3 image and stretch it to 16:9? Because that's what it kind of.
Oh, you turned that on, Molly?
Because I think that you can change it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, but it is a little stretched. If you play it at a like a 4:3, it does like look like Dark skinnier or something.
Well, yeah. So what I'm saying is like it's, I mean, presentation wise, like, I mean, most people are on widescreen these days, but I know that it's VX Ace and stuff. But like what I'm saying is like the biggest problem in terms of presentation in this game is not the game itself, but some of the technology under the hood is a little outdated, and it's going to be harder for them to do anything that's like cross-platform or web-based or
that is probably the saddest part about this game.
And I don't know if how many or how plug-in heavy it is, so that they might be able to like port it to like MZ or something and keep the same look and just have it look like way better. but I don't know how hard that would be on their end as far as like plugins or scripts or whatever. So,
You think they should port it over?
Yo, if they port it over, I'd be hyped for that. Like,
I think that it would make sense if they, especially if like they were gonna finish the game. But again, it depends. It depends on how much work it would be to do.
That's what it's coming down to.
They might have done most of their stuff in the engine itself and not used a lot of plug-in stuff. Which, if that's the case, that they might be able to do it relatively easily. I know that there was a script that actually took all your RPG Maker and VX Ace data and maps and everything and converts it to, you know, MV or MZ.
But what about what about the upscaling, the up-resing of all of the sprites and everything?
Well, yeah. What you can do is I noticed that a lot of the actual like tile sets and stuff were FSM, so you could get the newer version of that, that's at those higher resolutions, or you just run a batch image manipulation plugin that will resize all the images to nearest neighbor, so you'll get some jaggies on some of the corners, but it'll still look sharp even if you upscale it. I don't like GIMP as a photo editing program. I really can't stand it, but I do use a plugin for GIMP called batch image manipulation, and it lets you like resize or edit, you know, whole folders of hundreds of images, you know, in one swoop.
Okay, so sounds like you can be on the modernization team if they. I'm glad to help if that's the case, but if not, whatever. But the point is that so the game itself, really good presentation, looks really professional. It's suffering from some quality of life that I don't know can be resolved under VX Ace being the engine it's made in. And then like the video scene was cool too, but again, anything that plays on the default RPG Maker like movie command is like some kind of codec that makes it look like really washed out, or like really like not quite like really when it's highly compressed and you see like slight artifacts and stuff. And I don't know. I don't want to gripe on it too much, but I'm just kind of putting that out there as far as like, while I think the presentation is good, I think that there's some issues related to the technology under the hood. So. Okay.
That's fair.
All right. Let me finish glazing this game real quick. Look, bro. You see the mapping is on point. Okay. You see all the character animations. Them things crazy fire. Like the girl, they was walking up the street. The dude was looking. She was like looking to the left while y'all was walking up there. And then that action scene. So D7 got the YouTube video. Please check it out on his channel. Of probably the most best action sequence you ever seen in a on map RPG Maker game. On map, y'all. We looking at anime Sakuga type levels of detail. It was crazy. Okay, very elaborate, very detailed, very awesome. Already worth playing the game so you can experience yourself. So presentation is on Smash.
And I want to say one thing. This is how you do a demo, guys. This is how you do the demo. You know, you especially going commercial. You have to, not with all the action sequencing, but the way how everything was from beginning to the end, to the rising climax, to the shop revelation. You know. Everything was done right. It wasn't too long. They didn't spend 10, 12 hours trying to push everything so you could buy their game. Within 2 hours, I'm sold. I want the game. I would like to see this game to completion. You know, of course, most games gonna have bugs. Even PS5 games got bugs. You know, I'm playing Black Wukong. That got bugs. You know what I'm saying? Everything gonna have bugs, so we can't you know, you don't want to bash the game because of the bug, especially if the developer's trying to fix it. Then work with the developer. But if they're not trying to do anything with it, then you know what kind of developer you got, and you know what kind of quality game that you're gonna get. but at the same time, this is how a demo should perform and feel.
Yeah,
You know,
it definitely left me wanting more for sure.
Yeah, just let y'all know you can go to the itch.io site and rate the game. I'm rating it at 5 stars right now.
yeah, I'm gonna rate it too. I'm gonna get AI to do my rating for me because I'm not a good writer.
So I just said super fun. Can't wait for 1.0. But so I'm mad hype and make it, short and sweet. But all right, guys, let's. I feel like we didn't give it the presentation enough justice, but for the sake of time, I am going to like pull it straight into the rating. This is probably the first 10 out of 10 in presentation for me, hands down. I don't even gotta, debate what y'all think.
I like it because this time I get to be the bad guy, and that's something new, and I wasn't expecting that, so my expectations are already through the roof, and given the choice that I can do good and I can do evil, and maybe there is the outcome, because if you talk to the priest, there is something to break a curse. So I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe bad karma, you get cursed or whatnot, or could be a hidden mechanic where you do bad things. The worse karma you got, the stronger you may be, your stat wise, and the more humanized you are, your stats may not be as powerful. Maybe it could be a hidden mechanic like that. If it does have something like that, I think that's dope. That could definitely change the way you build your character. But overall, I like it from beginning to the end. You know, um, this has a lot of things in the RPG that I am looking for and willing to spend. Uh, I wouldn't mind spending a decent price on this game. So I give it a 10 out of 10 on presentation.
Awesome. Excited for the developer. What you think, these Cychronic?
Yeah, no, I definitely am gonna leave a review on this one too, and I hope to see the final project at some point. It's pretty good. As I said before, the only knocks to its presentation, for me, are basically the technical limitations of some of the aspects of it, but it's actually it's very well done. I liked the whole package put together. I'm gonna give it a 9.
All right.
This guy got you the month to break the camel's back with a 9. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe Cychronic hasn't experienced that cutscene, and I was taking it back.
I saw it. I thought it was fucking badass.
Oh, okay.
Actually.
But I think I see where Sakrana is coming from. If this game was made on a more powerful engine,
it could look even
yes,
better. It could be even way to the next level. Even.
I'm thinking the same thing.
The problem is a game like this on MV, it probably suffered just like Doctor's game is suffering with the lag. I could just imagine.
Yeah.
It probably be a lot. It probably be a lot worse on MZ or NV.
You're saying if you try to do some of the more complex action sequencing stuff or things like that.
Cause look at Doctor's game. That ain't lagging like Miss Daisy. You know what I'm saying? That ain't lagging.
But
like I said, some parts. But he did fix. He did make a quality update. There's that fits all that, but still, it's just gonna run into problem. Maybe this is what they're used to, and they could, in their eyes, they could do a lot more without having to spend the extra money, the extra plugins that you gotta buy on MV. Everything they may have to do all over again, even if they port it over to MV.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then it probably doesn't make sense to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, to Cyclone's point, I was considering docking points, but I think, like, you imagine a team, all of these other components have to create like a curve. It created a curve that set the bar to a different level that had them exceed the bar, right? So the curve kind of lowered the bar. It's VX8, it's an engine. You got mad other people on the project, you got to manage all that, and then you had the nerve, like the audacity to like do something in like on map. Like you could have animated that, you could have made somebody watch a video, you could have did it in a battle scene, but like it's like right there on map. And I'm like, a lot of things they did on map, I think, like for them to put so much care into that is like what gave you the extra credit. That's extra credit, boom. So I had to acknowledge that, right? Or otherwise I'd have been like, they should have upgraded the engine, they should have fixed the resolution. Some of the stuff look a little bit jank. Like that battle's result screen is like, okay, the image was stretched and then it's not stretched. How it kind of comes in the battle result screen is a little jank to me. But because I could really nitpick it, but I feel like the love was there. It's like crazy how much like the intro presentation, it comes on like it's a movie with where it plays some of the credits and junk. And it's just like so much effort into it. Dark has on-screen, on-map reactions to his character model. So he's like, his eyes move around. He's got a shocked face. He's got, his wings move and stuff like that. It's a ton of stuff, bro. So I don't know.
And they look behind their backs.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking back. Like it's a lot of custom things.
A lot of attention to detail. It kind of helps to get you immersed in it.
Yeah, for sure.
And is Dart a pre-made character? Like the image, like the the portrait is that?
I feel like the portrait is like and the portrait to me looks like a kit bash of like RPG Maker 2003 faces as a VX8's face.
But the battler is definitely. The battler and the on-screen sprite is definitely custom.
Yeah.
But everybody else, like maybe the NPCs. See, that's the one thing about RFL. RFL main character. Me first time playing it, and the cost of RFL, I thought the main character, the girl with the red hair, was a custom character till I saw the same character again in another game. I was like, hold on, this is the RFL main character. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
she got another job.
DJ King told me, he was like, yeah, that's from a package. That's from a pack.
Oh, here you go.
Like, this game was successful, but with no custom battlers. But this one, I don't know, man. It kind of, it's like a roulette type thing. Maybe RFL at that time had great marketing strategy. It was that time to release it at that moment where they did something that looked actually different. And I feel like history can repeat itself for this game if the marketing is done correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel they have something with this project.
Yeah, and this is one of those. This is probably one of those examples of a project where there's lots of really good hidden games out there that you just never find out about because it was just never posted in the right place at the right time, and no one finds it. And even though it sucks, or even though it's not that it sucks, but that even though it's amazing, right? So. I don't know. It's basically like it's a thing, right? So like that's why part of what I try to do too on the podcast is like I try to find games like that don't get enough recognition and try to get them out there, So
for sure.
Yeah. So thanks for finding this one because
I'm like, man, Marlon, he did justice with this.
Yeah, man.
He did justice. He picked a good game because I never even heard of this game, and I've seen a lot of YouTubers stream this game. So there is. Remember the Chrono Trigger clone we played?
Who was
I
that?
don't think we played it. Chrono Trigger.
I think I streamed it. It was kind of like a Chrono Trigger clone,
Okay.
but that developer did the Let's Play on this game. I didn't even know that developer did Let's Play.
Hmm.
His game was actually pretty good. Like the battles, the maps, everything was pretty good. I mean, that would have been a great podcast review.
Awesome.
But yeah, like a lot of people, got a lot of great things to say about this game, and just like I said, if the developer is really serious, I would dump some money into the marketing aspect of this, and keep that same energy. If you can port it to a stronger engine like Unity, if you want to do no RPG Maker, that's on you. But I think they could actually pull this off.
Yeah, I would get this straight on Switch and on Steam, and then maybe if I don't know if it does well, it'll go to like PS Plus. I don't know, something like that. Something kind of modest.
It's better than it's funner than. Y'all may hate me for it. It's way more fun than Sea of Stars.
Oh, really? Dang,
Yeah,
I haven't
man.
played Sea of Stars. That's crazy. I bought Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars ain't bad, but it gets like the battles get so repetitive fast. It's beautiful, like graphics wise, but to me it's not Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
It's like it's a timing game. Like with one girl, you throw the boomerang, you keep hitting it, you get so many hits. Every battle, once you find out that pattern, you're gonna keep doing the same thing. It just be washed up. It's like rinse and repeat. But graphic-wise, story-wise, got a great story.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but I think it's overhyped a bit.
Okay.
I think it's overhyped.
I ain't gonna lie. I bought that joint, and they did come out with expansion multiplayer. I haven't played it yet because I honestly felt the same thing. I felt it. So we can thank my gamer's intuition for the Seventh Warrior and also Segna. People. That's kind of why I didn't even start Sea of Stars. Dang, so that's crazy, dog. So let me do some housekeeping. Hey guys, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Please subscribe to the Twitch or the YouTube, and we got a Discord. I think you can find the link right there in the streaming on Twitch, like our Discord link, so join that. And I think we're looking for more games to review, so because I think RTP has a lot of RPG Maker game developers, feel free to submit your game and we can put it. I think we have a wheel, and then we can spin the wheel, and then you have a chance and we'll review your game. So we have like a cycle, and what we do is some games we look for out in the itch.io, Steam, all in that ecosystem of games, but then we like to review our community games too. So feel free to join up, invite your friends, and then submit your game.
Bear.
Yep. So also, follow us on the socials if you didn't already. And so I think Part-Time Parent said, do you want to steal from my wheel? Hey man, I think we're probably going to be off the air next week, but then I don't know, even the week after that might be New Year's for Wednesdays. But coming back, we'll figure that out. I think we probably blow through the wheel stuff, but for sure, man, we're excited to review all the games that we have on the wheel, and looking forward to a super fun, awesome new year.
Gotta go, guys. Peace out.
All right.
But before I go, like Marlon said, if you're not subscribed or whatnot or follow, definitely do that. But about to head in this dojo, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Man. Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
All right, my guy.
Peace out.
Peace.
All right, guys. That takes care of the podcast for tonight. Again, that was the Seventh Warrior. Thanks for tuning in, and you guys have a great rest of your day.